Once Javier reached his bedroom, he tried to go to sleep, but he could still feel the kiss they shared. It left a scorching heat that coursed through him, and he was soon forced to seek relief in the form of a cold shower. He had stood beneath the chilled water for 30 minutes, but found he still hadn't cooled down. Javier ran a hand through his damp hair in frustration. He was haunted by flashes of Amelia's flushed face, her trembling lashes, and the way she pulled him closer tonight. The next morning, Amelia woke to find she was feeling 60% better. A vast improvement. She spotted the compress that was left on her arm, and she couldn't help but think back to the events of the previous night. Javier's tender care, her hand in his, the kiss. Everything felt like a dream, yet it was all so real. As she stepped out of her room to get some air, she clocked the hurried footsteps and raised voices of some of the medical staff. Just then, a nurse emerged with an anxious face. "Something's wrong. Notify Dr. Marquez immediately." Amelia rushed toward the commotion, her mind racing. What happened?" The nurse turned to her. "The prince has a fever." Amelia's heart clenched as she scurried down the hallway toward Javier's room. She wore a mask and avoided proximity with the house staff. When she reached his bedroom, she worried she'd find him in a worse state than she was in yesterday. "I warned that stubborn prince to keep a safe distance, and now he's sick, all because of me." As she neared his door, the medical team rushed past her, nearly knocking her over. "Prepare to draw blood," the team leader barked. "Dr. Marquez should be here in 10. The door slammed shut before Amelia could step inside. Not wanting to get in the way, she leaned against a wall in the hallway and waited for his examination to be done. Sooner than she thought, the door creaked open, and the medical team filed out. Summoning her courage, Amelia stepped into the room. She froze at the sight of Javier sitting on the sofa, his laptop balanced on his knees, scrolling through emails as if it was just another ordinary day. His face was flushed, and the fever was evident in his slightly glassy eyes. He looked exhausted, yet still calm and composed. His shirt was worn casually, his sleeves rolled up, revealing his strong forearms. Amelia frowned, exasperated. "You're okay?" He quietly nodded. "The medical team was making a ruckus. I couldn't think straight, so I sent them out." She walked over and placed her hand on his forehead. The heat radiating from his skin was alarming. "You have a high fever. You shouldn't be working." Javier glanced at her briefly. "I appreciate your concern, but I'm fine. I have too much to catch up on." Although, his gaze flicked up, teasing, "I can make an exception for certain distractions." Amelia rolled her eyes and moved to the bed, spreading out the blanket. "Come to bed." Javier looked up, interest sparking in his expression. "Do lie down and rest," she finished with a smirk, "until Dr. Marquez takes a look at you. You really don't look well." For a moment, his expression softened, noticing the worry in her eyes. Then a flicker of mischief crossed his face. He closed his laptop and leaned back. "Come here," he said, his voice low. Amelia hesitated, but approached cautiously. Before she could react, his fingers hooked into her pant pockets and pulled her closer. Her heart raced as memories of their passionate kiss from the night before flooded her mind. "Look at me," he said softly. His deep eyes met hers, making her blush spread across her cheeks. "Yes," she said, her voice calm as she fought to keep her breathing steady. "It's not often that I develop a fever after a kiss," he teased, his smirk disarming. "Maybe you're just not used to breaking a sweat," she shot back quickly. Javier raised an eyebrow. "If I recall correctly, You were the one who couldn't keep your hands to yourself last night. It was probably all the cold medicine, she replied, a faint smirk curling her lips. He leaned in slightly. Ah, so the medicine made you take my hand and pull me in close. That's a side effect I didn't read about. Sorry, I shouldn't have. I didn't realize I was such a threat to your health, she said coolly. To my health, to my work schedule, to my sanity, Javier murmured, his voice lowering, sending a shiver down her spine. His legs trapped her in place as she leaned against the sofa for support, her hands gripping the edge to avoid falling into his lap. Through his hands, now on her hips, she could feel the heat radiating from his body. Her breath quickened as her eyelashes fluttered. Being near him felt dangerous. When Javier's hand reached out and slipped off her mask, Amelia instinctively turned her face away. Look at me, he commanded, his tone a mix of tenderness and authority. She hesitated for a moment, then gave in, closing her eyes and bracing herself for another kiss. Instead, he brushed the hair from her face and pressed his palm to her forehead. Her eyes fluttered open, surprised by the action, and he gave a low chuckle. Your temperature is back to normal. Before she could respond, the door to the bedroom opened abruptly. Dr. Manuel Marquez stepped inside, dressed in full protective gear, his mask concealing his expression. His sharp eyes immediately caught Javier and Amelia in their close, intimate position, and she jumped back, quickly adjusting her clothes, her flustered state obvious. Manuel didn't miss a beat, casually opening his kit. Sometimes I feel like a fool for worrying about you, Javi, he muttered dryly. I take it you're feeling better. The doctor approached with his equipment to check Javier's temperature. Javier leaned back casually, though a faint flush remained on his face. It's probably just a cold. I took a cold shower before bed and went to sleep with my hair wet. Dr. Marquez eyed the two lovebirds in front of him and smirked knowingly. A cold shower, huh? Been taking a lot of those recently? Javier shot his nosy friend a warning glare before adding. A few. Amelia frowned. It's been so cold out. Why would you take a cold shower? Javier and Manuel exchanged glances, amused by the innuendo that went over her head. Javier smirked. Cold showers help relieve tension. Amelia tilted her head, nodding slowly. Oh, that makes sense. With all the stress you're under at work, it must be overwhelming. Javier raised an eyebrow, while Manuel had to look away to suppress a laugh. Amelia caught this and realized she'd been left out of an inside joke. Her brow furrowed, and she looked away from the two vexing men. Meanwhile, Sophie Rivera was in her bedroom packing her bag for a trip. She was scheduled to leave for New York for a performance with her ballet troupe and had invited all her college friends to show off her success. It would be the perfect distraction from the recent stress of the Charles and Amelia drama. Plus, keeping up the pregnancy lie around Charles was becoming exhausting. God, how she missed her nightly martinis. Just as she zipped her suitcase, her phone buzzed. It was Sarah, the troupe manager. Hey, Sarah. I literally just finished packing my bag. So excited for tomorrow, Sophie said cheerfully. Sarah was hesitant. Oh, Soph, unfortunately, I have bad news. What do you mean? Please don't tell me the show is canceled. No, not the show, just you. We're pulling you from the performance. Orders from above. I'm sorry. Sophie's face fell. What do you mean? The show is on, but I'm out? I packed my bags. I invited friends. This is unacceptable. Who do I talk to about reversing this?
That won't work, Soph. I don't know who you upset, but it's way above my pay grade.
Sarah said apologetically.
I have to go. I'm sorry.
Sophie stood frozen, unable to believe what she'd just heard. She had worked tirelessly to secure her spot in the ballet company. She was even the understudy to the lead, which meant she was next in line to be the prima ballerina. Now, suddenly, she was nothing? A disposable dancer they could push to the sidelines? It made no sense. Who had she upset? Who had power to do this? After some thinking, she came to one probable answer. Charles?
Hey, is everything okay? Are you feeling queasy again?
Nothing is okay, Charles. They kicked me off the show for no reason. Tell me honestly, do you think Prince Calderon has the power to do something like this? Charles hesitated for a moment, understanding the implications of the question.
He definitely has the resources.
He admitted reluctantly. Ah, I knew it. Anytime something goes wrong in my life, Amelia's the cause of it, Sophie shouted.
Maybe if you apologize to Amelia, this will go away. Remember that thing he said about good karma?
I didn't know that was some veiled threat, like he's some sort of mafia boss. None of this is my fault. It wouldn't have happened if you didn't let Amelia seduce you into taking her home. She's the bad karma, she screamed before ending the call. Hearing her daughter upset, Valentina appeared in the doorway. What's going on? I heard you yelling. Did the company book you a middle seat on your flight again? It's much worse, Mom. They cut me from the gig, Sophie said, her voice trembling. Valentina rushed over, pulling her daughter into a comforting hug. Sophie leaned in, trying to cry, but found herself too angry to shed tears. What did you do? You can tell me, sweetheart, Valentina asked softly, her voice almost a whisper. Sophie pulled back angrily, wiping her dry face with the back of her hand. I can't even cry. I'm so mad. I didn't do anything. This is all Amelia's fault. Valentina frowned. I don't doubt it. But I'm trying to understand. So, Amelia told them about whatever it was you didn't do? I said I didn't do anything, Sophie snapped, clenching her fists. She went and slutted up with Javier Calderon, and now my career is ruined. Just because he's mad I didn't give her an apology she doesn't deserve? Valentina's eyes widened in shock. Does the prince really protect her that much? What exactly happened? Sophie rushed to her closet and grabbed her coat. I don't have time to explain. I'm paying Amelia a visit to force her to fix what she broke. To find out what happens next, download the Pocket FM app in the next minute to get free access to all episodes of The Royal Accident for free.